Yeah, we're getting this party started. Hey guys, this is Coach Powell. Hope you are having a good time today. I know I'm having a great time today. We are going to get this thing rocking and rolling. Welcome to Coffee, Tea, You, and Me. I've been doing this program for a long time, been helping entrepreneurs out for a long time, creating opportunities for them to grow their business, find better levels and leverage for their success. And just, I love what I get to do. I get to work. I get to talk to people. I get to train and develop and teach people, all the things they need to do to be successful. It's just been a blessing and a ride for the last 20 years of my life. I've enjoyed working with leaders from A to Z, when it comes to developing their businesses and developing their ideas, their products, their services. And it's just been having a great time. If you know anybody who's looking to upgrade and do some better things with their life and their business, have them give the coach a call. That's what I love to do. I live for it. All of my information is scrolling right across your screen right about now. So I'm trying to make myself easy to communicate with, easy to contact. Before we get our show started today, I got some things I want to share with you guys. I think it's going to make a tremendous difference in your business and the things that are going on with you. First thing, I got a major conference coming up in February. It is huge. That's going to give so many opportunities to so many people to learn a lot about what's going on in the greater political, economic, and social atmosphere. These are things that you have to be prepared just to understand, or it might take your business under. So you have to make sure that you know what's going on with all of the new funding sources, what's going on with CDFIs, what's going on with the CHIPS Act, what's going on with all the new entrepreneurial opportunities that are coming out of the federal, state, local government. How do you get involved with your local CDFI and make sure that you're getting all the funding that you need to get from people who can pay attention, who will really listen to your story, because it's critically important. It's hard out here. It's always been difficult. Access to capital has always been an issue for entrepreneurs. In fact, Today I was in a great webinar with the Virginia Capital Corporation, and they did a lot of good work talking about how to deal with funding sources, how to find opportunities, and some of the things. I'm gonna share a few tips I learned from the guy. I got my notes right here. First thing you want to think about, outside of getting all your numbers straight and knowing what your sources of revenues are going to be and what they're going to happen, you have to have a good plan in place, right? But you also need to have the right people in place. Because if you have people that are around you that already have the subject matter expertise, is going to be able to help explore your clients, help explore opportunities for you, even post or pre-revenue. It's so important for you to have those people on board. They don't have to necessarily work for you, but they do have to be like under contract to do the work, because the work can be in lieu of the funding. That's okay. But if you can identify some talented people who can open doors for you, who are willing to come on board, maybe be a part of your board, maybe be a part of your advisory council, maybe they'll do some contract work for you. However you get that done, get them under MOU, get them under contract, get them on board, because that's going to make a big difference when you go to seek capital and someone says, okay, well, can you show me that you have some expertise, or you have some level of talent, able to prove that you can do the things you can do. The other thing is super important. It's whatever you're offering, whatever your service you're doing, has to be absolutely relevant to the target market that you're going for. And you have to be able to demonstrate that you can own that target market, that you can do so well. So you have to do your market research. And there's so many free opportunities out there for you. Go to your local SBDC. These are your small business development centers, and try to find out everything they possibly can tell you to help you identify sources, identify information. Your libraries is another great source of information, a great source of opportunities. And I know a lot of you all, because I support the SWAM businesses. So I know a lot of small women owned and small women and minority owned businesses. And I know it's daunting. There's a lot of information coming at you, a lot of people coming at you saying, I can help you. Guess what? If they can help you and they're going to charge you a lot of money, they probably are not going to be able to help you all that much. And you need to think about, making sure that you avail yourself of all the free sources that are out there, that are sponsored by, endorsed by your local chambers, your local governments, in your states. Because those are things that are going to be a lot safer for you to play, and a lot easier for you to do, even part-time. There's opportunities out there, even for micro businesses. So don't think that, or solopreneurs, don't think that, you're out of the game because, you don't necessarily have $1 million set aside waiting to be leveraged in some kind of way, shape, or form, or you don't have a lot of assets to leverage or anything like that. You're in the game as long as you have a great business plan, a lot of people to support you. You're definitely in the game. So that's all you pretty much need to get yourself started. I don't know who thinks they're going to be calling me at this time, but I'm going to make sure that we got this thing going, and I won't be disturbed again. I'm sorry about that, guys. Okay, so what's today's topic? Today's topic is super special. Oh, before I even get to today's topic, if you want to join me in the studio, I see we have a couple people out there right now watching the show. If you want to join me live in the studio, I'm doing this for the first time. Feel free to go ahead and do that. I sent the link. I put the link in the private chat. I'm gonna go ahead and put the link in the chat so you can see it. So if you're watching me on Facebook, or you're watching us on LinkedIn, you're watching us on YouTube, and you want to join me live in the studio, feel free to do so. If you have a business out there and you want to make sure that you get some promotion for the business, definitely put that information in the chat. Tell me where your business is, where it's located. Put your link to your websites. If you got a special event you want to promote, put that information in the chat as well. I have a special event I want to promote. I already told you about that earlier. But did you know that for the early birds that get their tickets early for our event in February, we have a classic quarterly, we call it a leverage up event, because it's all about learning how to leverage people and leverage information in the ways that you could never do by yourself, right? So it's all about, building the right kinds of business relationships, opening up the ideas that you need to flow into the next greatest opportunities for your business, and taking partners with you so that you don't have to do this all alone. I said a mouthful. But if you get one of the early bird tickets, you're going to qualify for the raffle to get over $10,000 of prizes and gifts. And these are phenomenal prizes and gifts. You're going to love them. They're all coming from our sponsors and myself. And there's just great opportunity for people to play, to get involved, and to do that kind of stuff. So definitely get your ticket right away. Let me know that you got your ticket. When you sign up, I'll get an automatic thing anyway, and I'll communicate with you. I'll let you know all the ramifications for the raffle and all that kind of stuff. How we're going to get the prizes out to you. But it's going to be an amazing program. I'm looking forward to doing that. Okay, today's topic is pretty cool. Today we're opening up the first initial section of the current series that we're going to be talking about. And the current series is all about planning for 2023. But the unique planning aspect and the unique planning process that I use for all of my clients, I'm going to share with you live, week by week. We're going to go to a big overview today. And then over the next couple of weeks, we're going to go get into the details. So today we're going to talk about an overview of the whole VisionQuest 90 planning system. And I'm going to give you all the tools. I'm going to give you all the information. I'm going to give you everything you need to get started. And if you need anything, just reach out and call me. You can pick up the phone and call me, give me a text message, shoot me an email, hit me up on my website, whatever you want to do to make it comfortable for you. We're all about this because I don't want you going into 2023 thinking that you don't have a shot to accomplish the things you want to accomplish. You just have to plan it right. You have to get it done and you have to plan it all out. It's super, super, super important. First quote I want to share with you is one that I wrote. And it says, the tremendous ongoing and increasing benefits can only be received by high-performing teams and their leaders that have mastered the art and the science of meaningful, relevant, and significant contribution. You have to be masterful at what you're going to try to do, you and your team, if you're going to survive our current business environment. It's frightful out there. So many different things are coming at us left and right. If it's not the pandemic, it's the loss of jobs. If it's not the loss of jobs, it's the inflation rate. If not the inflation rate, it's the coming recession. If you don't believe we're already in a recession, we're already in a recession. But some people think it's still coming. Okay, so I'll let you hang out there and believe that it's still coming, right? But we're deep in a recession. And never in history has all those three things impacted, at least the American economy, in the way that it's impacting us right now. And there's so many different things. I mean, with the proliferation of the internet and the changes that are coming on and people being unwilling to go back to the traditional job market the way that is, it's just great opportunities for everybody, but it's also scary for a lot of people who are waiting on the sidelines to pull the trigger, start their business, or to really put a wholehearted effort into making their entrepreneurship dreams come true. But you don't have to be on the sidelines. You do have to plan. And we're going to talk about planning right now. Benjamin Franklin says, by failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. You see, life is going to happen, whether or not you plan to be successful or not. Things are going to happen, whether or not you plan to execute a strategy or system and techniques that works for you or not. Things are going to happen. And if you're unprepared, if you're unplanned, if you don't even know where to get back to, how to even take a pivot or come back to home base, whatever that looks like for you in your journey towards your future, you're going to have a hard time with accessing all the people, the information, and the tools you're going to need to forget thriving. You're not going to be able to survive. So it's very, very important. Pay attention to what Mr. Franklin is talking about here. Albert Einstein says, life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. That is so true. Isn't that the truth? Life is not something that you can just sit still and think everything is going to be okay. You've got to keep moving forward. And every time you take a step, there's an opportunity for you to get unbalanced, or every time an opportunity for something to happen that might not be. You might take a bad step. You might not be able to see what's right there in front of you. You might you might sideswipe you, or something might get you from behind. It doesn't really matter what it is in your business, in your life, your journey moving forward. You have to keep moving forward, and you have to keep rebalancing as you go. You have to always check. Is this the right step? Is this the next way? Is this the next move? Am I doing it correctly? Do I have the right technique? Now, a lot of us take so much for granted that we're already doing the right thing. But when's the last time you really took an inventory of your skills and really looked at the skills that you need to have, and what is the quality of the skills you need to acquire, the capabilities you need to acquire in order to achieve the things you want to achieve? You're going to always have to be continuously learning. You're going to always have to be checking that you've learned the things that you need to learn through your experience. And you always have to be willing to take some risk and go into unknown in order to just move forward. And so don't think that, you're doing something because you're moving forward. You want to move forward. You want to move forward quickly, right? You want to be able to get there efficiently and effectively. And it's so important that you need to have a plan in order to make that happen. You need to make sure you have the right resources, the right talent, the right people, and the right opportunities in front of you. And you have to acquire them. And whatever you need to do to acquire them, that's what you got to do, right? Mother Teresa says, I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the waters to create many ripples. So you have to ask yourself, you can play the game at a high level. You can play at a high level. You can cast some stones in the pond. You can create a ripple. You can make the earth shake a little bit. You can do a little bit to move things in front of you and get things done. But you're not going to make any major changes, not alone. If you want to make major changes, you want to start a revolution, you want to change, you're going to have to get some soldiers. You're going to have to get some people with you. You're going to have to get some generals and some people that are on some foot soldiers that have their eye to the eye on the ground, boots on the street, that kind of good stuff. You're going to have to be able to do that in order to really, really grow. And I can't stress enough how important it is to make sure that you're actually showing up in the spaces where you're showing up, actually doing the things, doing the work that you need to do. The VisionQuest planning system is all about that. It's about 3 simple concepts. And if you understand these concepts, then you're going to be able to sail through, the things you need to sail through. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm just saying it's going to be predictable. It's going to be manageable. It's going to be something that you can absolutely do. First principle that we're going to talk about, we'll talk about the overview of the VisionQuest planning, right? VisionQuest90 planning process is planning. Okay, planning is not just about technique and strategy. It's about making sure that you have a well-balanced, complete set of arrangements in advance to achieve amazing levels of success. Let me say that again. Making a good plan is about making sure that you have well-balanced, complete arrangements in advance so that you can achieve amazing levels of success. That's a good plan. It has to be well written. It has to be brilliantly articulated. It has to be something that inspires others to jump on board to help you accomplish the things you need to accomplish. Yes, you have to share it. Because if you can't, you're not going to be able to do it. Now, I already mentioned balance once, but that's a second thing that's a part of a good plan, right? It's not about just maintaining equal, and correct proportions in everything that you say and do and everything that you're going to experience, as much as it's about maintaining alignment and knowing how and when to slow down and reestablish your footing. Because again, moving forward is about maintaining your balance. It's about maintaining your focus. It's about maintaining an opportunity to know that you're taking the right steps and you're moving forward appropriately. And you don't often know that. Sometimes you gotta take a shot in the dark and move forward, but don't go so fast, so quickly, and so hard that you're not paying attention to what's around you and what's in front of you, and when you might want to pivot, then you want to stop. You have to be able to do that. That's what balance is all about. The third aspect of planning, after you got your plans, you got your balance right, you got to think about community. Community is a significant aspect to planning. You need to be driving towards ever-increasing feelings of fellowship, commonality, mutual interest, and goal achievement. If you have people around you who are interested in those things and who are about those things with you, you're going to find that although the road is never easy, it's much more fun. It's much more relaxing. There's an old saying, right? Safety in numbers. Right? So if you're at this and you're trying to do everything all by yourself and you're not really thinking about the fact that just because you're good at something doesn't mean you have to do it. Because what needs to be done is, maybe done, it needs to be done at a high level. But if you find somebody else who can do that, that pushes you to go and do some other things and helps you do some other things, helps you open yourself up to other things. And so the good opportunity for entrepreneurs, when you're thinking about planning, plan to double down on your resources. Plan to have extra layers of expertise in every aspect of your business, right? If you look at the illustration I have in front of you, and for those of you who can't see it, I'll definitely post it in on the chat so you can pull it up a little later on. There's a pie chart, right? That is involved in the VisionQuest planning system, and the pie chart it consists of 5 areas. And again, I already told you these 5 areas don't have to be all balanced out, but they do have to all exist simultaneously and have to be aligned with all of the things that you're trying to do. You have to be able to align your vision, your goals, your habits, your mission, and your partners. The thing that most people leave out of the planning process is that part, the partners. You're pretty good knowing like, yeah, I gotta have some sense of destiny about where I'm going, and people are pretty good about knowing that I really have to have some kind of an achievement model, right? I need some goals that I got to put out there, and I gotta accomplish some things, right? That's important. I need to make sure I have the right habits along the way, and I need to make sure I'm doing it for the right purpose. So you got your vision, your goals, your habits, your mission. That's fine. But what's also important is that sense, like I said to you earlier, of community, understanding that the mutual interest and the fellowship and the commonality is critically important to the partnerships I have to develop. You're always going to have to be in constant, continual, ongoing development of partnerships and new relationships and new people who are going to be coming on board, and people are going to be going off board as you move forward and ever increasingly forward towards whatever your vision might be. And so it's all going to require people, especially if you want to go and you want to do it well, right? If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go well, bring some other people along with you. If you want to make sure that the journey is good and it's accomplishing the things you want to accomplish, and you're being on purpose and on mission, and you're able to invite others into that mission or go with you or help even establish that mission together. Everything you do together is always much better than just doing it alone. Let's talk about some myths associated with planning. Myth number 1, you got to do it all alone. That's a traditional American Eurocentric mindset, right? That says, if it is to be, it's up to me. It's all about me. It's all about what I want. It's all about what I need. And I'm going to tell you, you probably can do that very well in the short term. But in the long term, you need other people. And so if you start with that process of understanding that you need other people from the beginning, then it's going to be much easier for you to work well with other people, to listen to other people, to share ideas, and allow other people to drive ideas in your world, right? So you have to be able to do it you have to be able to do it. That's the myth that you have to do it all alone. You don't, and you shouldn't. Second myth I want to talk to you about is the fact that people believe that you can't find the right people to be on your team, right? You can't afford the right people. You can't have access to the right people. You don't know the right people. All of that is a bunch of myths. It might be true that you are afraid to approach the people that you identify and so but it's so easy to identify the right people to get on board with your vision, right? Get on your bus or to be a part of your success. It's not hard to identify them at all. Go on LinkedIn, start playing around with the tool. You will find that there are people in the spaces where you need them to be, but you might not have relationships with them yet, but you may know somebody who has relationships with them. And so it's about leveraging. It's about using relationships you currently have to get you into the relationships that you need to get into to be more successful. You can find the right people. And then once you identify them, now you just have to have a strategy to help them say yes. And that's not a difficult thing to do. We teach that all the time. And so think about it. You can find the right people. If you can find the right people to join your team, what can't you do? What is it that's impossible that it's impossible for you to do? Because I will promise you, the more people you have that are high quality and good people with good character and good skills, the opportunities are unlimited in terms of what can happen and what you can do. Number 3, the third myth, that it's too late to learn to be a good motivator, to be a person who is inspirational, so on and so forth. Every person, let me tell you that's a myth, because every person is inspirational. Every person has a story, and every story is compelling. Every person has overcome something to get them to where they are today. It doesn't matter what it is. You've overcome something. You've had an obstacle. You've had a challenge. You have been resilient, and you have come through that challenge, and it has informed you of a little bit about what your capacity might be. Now, think if you take that capacity and you multiplied it by 10. Oh no, that's 10 people who have 10 other stories and 10 other opportunities, and you just keep going. You multiply it by 20, you multiply it by 30. Again, the more people with the right stories and the right talent and the right information, all of a sudden you have unlimited capacity to deliver. And that kills the next myth, which is your capacity is limited. Your capacity is not limited. Your capacity is only limited by your ability to attract others that can help you move forward. If you can attract others that can help you move forward, then you have unlimited capacities. It's a myth, and we all can do this. Again, you can be attractive, you can be motivated, you can accomplish the things you need to accomplish just through the power and the stickiness of your story, right? The next myth is that you don't have what it takes. We all have what it takes. We're all innately born with what it takes to be successful. We see people do amazing things that don't have arms, they don't have any limbs whatsoever, they barely can read or talk or whatever that is, and they still can do amazing things. And so that old excuse of you don't have what it takes, I can't go for it. I can't even understand it anymore. As people say, even people that we now will define with mental instabilities like ADD or depression, anxiety, or some form of bipolarism or whatever, their brain might not work the same way the rest of our brains work, but they have superior abilities to do a lot of things that if we would allow them the space, not to become a psychopath, but if it allowed them the space to create and grow, and with given the right support, some of the smartest, most talented people in the world have had these mental challenges, and I don't even like to call them disabilities. I like to call them different abilities. And so everybody has what it takes. It's just the question of, can they find the right support in order to leverage and create the opportunities they need to create, right? That's what that Leverage Up conference is all about. So make sure you get your ticket. The last myth that I want to explore with you about that kills people in their planning is scaling fast is irresponsible. I'm going to challenge you again and help you understand that if you can scale fast, why not? If you've got the right team in place, you got the right idea, you got the right support systems, you got the right mechanisms, what are you afraid of? Stop it. Get to the business of growing. Because if you're not going to grow, you're going to lose the people that you have with you. They're going to find better, bigger things to do. They're going to find other opportunities. You're going to find other people to play with. And so while you have the right team in place, you got to keep growing. Growth. I would encourage everyone to read, if you haven't already read, The Growth Mindset. Game changer, right? It's all about abundance. It's all about growing. Now, I have here in my little document that I've been reading from, sort of a checklist of things you should begin to think about even before you go out planning. And guess what? I'm going to share it with you. I don't want you to have any excuses again while you think, I don't have the right stuff, I don't have the right tools. Here it is, right here. Boom. All you got to do, go check out the link and get to it. You'll be able to access the VisionQuest planning document, to access the questionnaire. I see the link thing come through. I will find that link and get it to you. In fact, I will do that right now as we're talking, because again, I want to make sure everybody has everything they need, and I don't want to have any excuses as to why you can't. In fact, the link is right in here in this document, so you don't have to worry about it. You can just download it again right from wherever you're watching. So if you're watching from Facebook, you're watching from LinkedIn, you're watching from YouTube, you should be able to grab this link and grab the document inside the link. That's basically an overview of what I just covered, so that you don't have any excuses as to why you can't get started. And over the next couple of weeks, we're going to take a deep dive into all 5 sections of the VisionQuest planning system, and all the support materials, and everything is going to be there for you. So all you got to do is keep watching it. If you happen to be watching show number 2, go back and watch show number 1 first. Today is show number 1, so you don't have to have a problem. But we're going to continue sequentially go through these things. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our Facebook channel. Make sure you have everything you need. Just get excuse time is over. Everybody can have a brilliant 2023. I just believe in the abundance. It's like you don't have to worry about, oh my God, somebody else might steal my idea if I invite somebody into the table. There's all kinds of non-disclosure agreements you can make. Just download one of those things. It's not that difficult. I say quit it. Quit with the excuses. Quit with the why not. Let this year be the year that you do the most amazing things. You can do it. I believe in you. There's nothing stopping you except you. As long as you have a voice, as long as you have talent and skills and abilities, and you have a story, you can move yourself forward. You can create what you want to create, but you got to plan it. You got to think about it. You got to create a strategy, and I've given you all the tools that you needed. So again, I had a great time. I hope you had a great time too. Make sure that you follow us on YouTube or subscribe to our channel, making sure that you share this information with as many people as you possibly can. Let's not keep this a secret. Let's bless as many as we possibly can. Make sure that your friends who are in business for themselves, they know how to get to the kind of quality information they need to get to. And if they don't, have them give me a call, because we can find it. There's an opportunity. There's so many opportunities for you. Nobody should have to suffer more than they actually have to suffer, because you got to do a little bit of suffering. I'm doing some research now on resilience, and you got to do a little bit of, there's got to be some resistance in order for you to develop resilience. So just a little suffering is just something that's going to happen anyway. So you might as well rock out to it, right? And see what you can learn from it. Okay, God bless you guys. I hope I had a great time. Hope you had a great time. I know I did. And I'm out of here. Bye.